Hello out to all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear, listening into another Gamers Thoughts discussion. And this one, now, I don't want people to think I am trying to downplay one thing and upplay another. I'm specifically speaking on just what I've seen from my perspective here. So, take it with a grain of salt. But I kind of want to talk about the duality between Hogwarts Legacy and Forspoken, because I noticed that there are some parallels between these two things that people don't really consider when they talk about it. So just getting on with that subject itself is probably something that will cause issue with people because of the different items that are up for discussion. So, firstly, I just want to go ahead and talk about Forspoken. I haven't played it. I also haven't played Hogwarts Legacy, so this is not a thing about the gameplay experience of either one of them. But this is more about how they were presented on social media, or not how they presented on social media, but how people talked about them on social media and how people behaved when it came down to the subject of either one of them. Now, first off, I know for a fact that there are definitely some people who didn't pick up Forspoken because the main character is a black female. I understand that. I don't think that's the majority, but I do understand that there are definitely some out there who just think that, oh no, this is not something that I'm going to participate in. I got that. But there was also this huge push by the diversity crowd, and let's put it out there, I am all for diversity and having it naturally grow in the space. And sometimes you have to force that. Gaming is not one of those situations where you have to force it. You just have to do it and let it flourish. But there was a large push for people to purchase this game, especially on Twitter, because Twitter is a large mob. There's a huge push for people to purchase this game that Square Enix blew a fuck ton of money developing. Problem was that the people that were trying to push for this game, and some may have had very good intentions, some. The problem was that when people started talking about reasons to get this game, they didn't highlight the game. They highlighted the race and the gender of the lead character and started calling people bigots if they said they weren't interested. They never actually spoke about the actual game, at least not the ones I saw. Then again, maybe Twitter is, algorithming me and saying, hey, no, you can only see the negative here, which is possible. But I also saw this on Instagram and on YouTube. So again, maybe I'm just getting hit with algorithms that are saying, hey, yo, look, you can just see the negative here. The only positive experience I saw with Forspoken was when I was watching Sandstorm play it. I'll give you that. But just sitting down and thinking about all of the stuff that I saw popping up and how people were fighting and arguing and pushing, well, you have to play this game. You need to go out and purchase this game because of who the character is. Now, mind you, this is a first-time IP. This is a brand new IP. People aren't certain about it yet. And on top of that, Square Enix blew a massive wad of money on it. Plus, people aren't very confident in Square Enix right now. That's another factor you got to take into consideration. Now, granted, I know that the game does have some issues and such, and it does have some not so great dialogue choices, because the main character kind of speaks like she lives in the internet, which I think honestly that's how a lot of people are mentally right now. But the dialogue is just ugh. Now, the intricacies of the gameplay system that I saw look fun. They look like they'd be engaging, but it's also a game that is slow to start. So, it's got a few knocks against it that would make any potential buyers that are interested not really run to get it. And on top of that, it was literally presented as a Sony exclusive, not a timed exclusive, but a Sony exclusive. Then it ended up on PC, and it'll be coming to Xbox sometime soon. So it had one, a limited market, and two, when you go ham and heavy-handed on stuff like that, and you tell people, well, if you don't do this, then you're this and you're that, and oh, you hate these people, and you're bigoted, and you hate this because of this reason, but like you don't necessarily know. Now, some people you could probably tell from their online engagement what their proclivities are, but you can't say that for everyone. You really, truly can't say that for everyone. And that type of thing pushes people away from something, even if it's positive. I could, this very moment, find the fountain of youth. And if I tell people, hey, you drink a little bit of water from this, your life will be extended by another 10 years. Guaranteed. And if you don't do it, well, you're a bunch of fucking idiots. First thought that they're going to have is, well, fuck this guy. I'm not. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you to tell me what I should do? This is where Hogwarts Legacy rolls into the frame. Now, because J.K. Rowling has said many controversial things, people decided that they would try to boycott the game. I can't say the exact same crowd, but almost the same crowd rallied against it online in mobs, not realizing, one, that J.K. Rowling had very little to do with this game. The only attachment she has to it is that she owns the IP. I mean, but you don't see people going up and boycotting everything else Harry Potter. Like, you know, the books, some of the other films, the Lego sets, the toys, the attractions, I believe, that are at Universal. So, if people aren't boycotting those things, I don't know what made them think that boycotting a video game that actually looks very highly competently put together was going to be a good idea. And it was the same language as for people who chose not to pick up Forspoken. Well, if you get this game, then you automatically hate this group of people and this and that and the fifth about you. So, I'm pretty sure there's a major chunk of the Hogwarts Legacy purchases that are just out of spite. That ended up being people that actually liked the game, but their first impression as to why they purchased it was to be spiteful. And trust me, spite can cause people to do a lot of things. And it just is the thing that mirrors these two games. Was the language being used around them? The only difference is the direction the language was going. In the case of Forspoken, the language was going in the direction of attempting to be a positive towards it. And it ended up being a negative. And for Hogwarts Legacy, it was an attempt to be negative about the product, but it ended up being a positive for it. You can't force people to do what you want them to do. You can't. You can only suggest things to people. Now, if more people, when it came down to Forspoken, were like, oh, this game looks like it's fun, it's like a lot of action, and the main character is of African American descent, and she's a female. On top of that, so the game is promoting diversity while still being a competently put together piece of media. That might have gone further than you're hateful and spiteful if you don't purchase this game. Which some people probably were spiteful, but still saying it doesn't help. And a lot of the opposite. I don't think Hogwarts Legacy was going to sell poorly. I just don't think. I just do think that about 10%, somewhere between 5 to 10% of the purchases of that game were because people were being spiteful. And while that might not be a large percentage, there's still a huge number of the number of purchases for this game. So again, it's just my observations. I'm not trying to say that I'm correct completely. I'm just saying that this is what I've observed. To be a benefit to something, you also have to know how to speak to the audience that you're trying to reach. If you don't know how to speak to the audience, you're never going to get the results that you want. A lot like the people with these Pokemon boycotts and what I am assume to happen, which will be a boycott against Tears of the Kingdom for different reasons than the stuff that happened with Forspoken and Hogwarts Legacy. But you can't attempt to force people to do your bidding, because the majority are going to ignore you. They're either going to ignore you, or those that are really determined to piss you off will be spiteful and do the exact opposite of what you say. So, again, these are the things that I took notice of. Maybe everyone else didn't see it the same way I did. But that's because we all live from different perspectives, even when we're similar people. So I just was putting the idea out there that maybe the heavy-handed approach wasn't exactly the best approach to try to get results for either of these cases. Especially not for Hogwarts Legacy. I just knew that wasn't going to work. Because it's a very well-known IP, very well-beloved. A lot of people like it. You can't tell people to just stop buying Star Wars because you dislike George Lucas. It's just not going to happen. Even with some of the not so great turns that IP has taken under the hands of Disney. Because there are still positives that come from Star Wars being in the hands of Disney. But I'm not going to drag this out too much more. Hopefully I got my point across. And if people understood, then I did. If they didn't, then I am sorry for wasting 15 minutes of your time. Thank you guys very much for listening in. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games and peace out, everybody.